Now that we're getting ACOTAR 6 and 7, I am going to answer some of your questions about the Massverse. First question is, do you need to read all of Throne of Glass, all of ACOTAR and all of Crescent City before you read ACOTAR 6 and 7? And yeah, I think you do. It's called the Massverse for a reason, and all three series have little Easter eggs and fairly big crossovers. So to get the full experience of the world that Sarah J. Maas has written, I do think that you need to read all the series. The Throne of Glass reading order. So most people know the reading order, but a lot of questions I get is, where do you read Assassin's Blade? Do you read it first or do you read it third? I will always say to read Assassin's Blade first. I read it first and I felt like I got more of an effect reading it that way. And then for the tandem read, I did tandem read, so I would recommend doing that. You don't have to, but I wasn't a fan of Tower of Dawn, and I think if I didn't tandem read it, I probably would have DNF'd. And it was fun, it was something fun to do. Is Crescent City worth reading? So, you either love Crescent City or you hate Crescent City. Unpopular opinion, but it's actually my favourite out of the three. There is huge world building in it, only in the first book, but I actually preferred this one, and there is a massive crossover with Crescent City and A Court of Silver Flames, and again, to get the full experience, you need to read it all. Is there too much world building for neo fantasy readers? Is it going to be hard to get your head around? Throne of Glass? No, I don't think so. It's a lot of books, but the world building comes in slowly. It's not like, bam, here's this massive world, get your head around it. It builds up slower. Because there's that many books, it's not hard to get your head around. ACOTAR, if you've already read it, I think that's pretty much the same. Once you've got past book one, you kind of know where you're at. Crescent City, like I said, I think the world building in that is bigger or more intense, and that's more in the first book. And by 80% through the first book, I totally had my head wrapped around the world building. So there wasn't nothing to try and understand in book 2 and 3. You could just enjoy them. So I personally think ACOTAR 6 and 7 is going to have crossovers with all three. So if you haven't read all three series, I don't think you'll completely get previous crossovers, Easter eggs, and some characters. Judging by what Sarah J. Maas said in her interview, I don't think it's going to be a POV by Elaine. I think it's going to be multiple POVs, and I think there's going to be Easter eggs and crossovers in the whole Massverse. So if you do want to get the best reading experience, then yeah, I think read all three series. Another reading order one. So you're going to start with Throne of Glass, read Assassin's Blade first. Then you're going to go on to ACOTAR and you're going to read them ones up until A Court of Silver Flames, and then on to Crescent City. If it feels too much, I'm sure it was maybe 45 pages a day a couple of days ago up until ACOTAR 6 comes out. Try it on audio. You can get the dramatised adaptations of ACOTAR and Crescent City. Obviously you can speed them up and you can listen to them at work. So I would maybe advise doing the audio. Throne of Glass is on audio, but the dramatised one isn't out until I think it's August, and that's only Throne of Glass. So you wouldn't be able to read Assassin's Blade first. So yeah, I hope that helped and answered some of your questions.